Hey guys, welcome back to the Honey I'm Home podcast. I'm Talon.
I'm Priz.
And we have a very fun and unexpected guest here with us today. The girl whose job I took.
The one, the only, Jazzy J.
That is she. She is here. She's present. No shade. No shade.
Whoa. Shots fired. And we're 20 seconds into the video.
I said the girl whose job I took.
I heard what you
That was good. That
They
was
don't know about that. They don't know about that. Oh, honey, I'm home. They don't know about that. This about honey, I'm home.
Right, yeah,
And honey, I'm home.
I don't know. This was cute and funny. Anyways, we have Jazz here, who is our near and dear friend. And we just love her so much. And we were just like, Jazz, just come hang out with us. We have nothing for you today. We have nothing planned. We don't know what we're talking about. We're just here.
Listen, we're kicking it.
Oh, you know
We're
what?
kicking it again.
Yeah.
Run it back.
We have no plans.
You
We
guys
have no agenda.
No
We just
agenda.
started rolling.
Yeah, we're just here. We're just here.
But
So,
cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
We have a drink, right?
oh yeah,
Actually made for
Kicking it with Jazz.
kicking it with Jazz.
You heard her, bartender. You heard her right.
You feel me?
Thank you, darling. Kicking it
Thank
with
you.
Jazz in
Tell
full
us
effect.
what's in it.
Yes, what's in this, Em?
It's a blood orange,
Cinnamon.
mezcal.
Okay.
white.
Mm-hmm. A whole bunch of shit just put together, kicking it. That's what this episode is going to be. A whole bunch of shit.
Cheers to kicking it.
Cheers
I'm
to kicking
drinking
it.
already.
Cheers to kicking
drank
it.
it.
Cheers. Cheers.
Drinking it
Wait,
already.
you guys didn't cheers.
It smells like a cinnamon roll.
Okay, it's fine. Oh, wow.
Give
That's
it.
gonna do it. You
Wow.
want me to spill all my secrets because I've been already drinking.
Tell it all, sis.
I'm trying to tell you, you didn't have to give me alcohol to spill my secrets.
You didn't have to butter me up.
Right.
With a good
I'll
time.
tell you gladly.
God damn. What's up, though? I'm glad to have you.
Wait, but tell
glad to be
them
here.
who Jazz is.
Who?
Honey,
You want me
I'm
to tell you who I
home.
am? I want Jazz to tell us who she is.
No, but I'm just saying the backstory. Like,
You wanna air our dirty
I want to
secrets
air the
outside?
tea so bad.
So let me do it since they don't know how to decide. Anyways, if y'all didn't know, me and P used to have a podcast together.
Kicking it with P and J.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we went our separate ways.
Oh.
And everybody thought we had beef.
Everybody.
Everybody thought we had beef.
And they
'cause we just
love us.
ended. Yeah, they thought
It was weird.
Yeah, that we just fell off or something, but really it was just
We just had to.
we just had to go our separate ways.
It was what it
Like,
was.
Why did y'all have to go your separate ways? Because I just want to say this really quick, and I'll be the one to say it.
Say it.
You guys were doing this like women sneaker podcast like vibe before. I've seen a few trickle in like since, but like I feel like you guys were like one of the first
Yeah,
to
I will
be.
forever be upset with Jazz because we could have blew the fuck up by now. But
That's fair. That's fair.
but it's all love. But I will say, obviously, what we had was good. What we had when we had it, and then I think you just shit just got too much, and it was what it was. And I've said this before on the podcast. A podcast isn't just come in, shooting it, and talking your shit, and then leave and go home. There's a lot of work that goes
There's
On
a
the
lot of
back
backbone
end.
right.
Yeah.
to it. There's a lot
do
of
you
like
feel about-
strategizing.
How do you feel about that? The backbone, the strategizing, the
It's a lot more work than you think it is, especially when you have this vision that you want it to go a certain way and it's not necessarily going that way. Not necessarily that it's not going that way, but it's like, dang, I didn't think
It takes
that
a
it
lot
was
to get
yeah,
there.
like,
It takes
I
a
didn't
lot
think
to
it was
get.
gonna
Yeah.
be a lot of work. Like I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like I'm just gonna be cutting it up. Like I'm just gonna be like we're just gonna be talking like whatever, but like you have set studio time, you have
editing.
time to editing and then like on top
Reels
of that,
and
yeah. There's a lot that goes
content
into it
and-
that's just
And the
kind of like
guest.
Yeah.
it's not just like oh we're cutting it up with each other like girl like you got to plan it out, you got to know what you're going to talk about because you don't want to waste studio time, you don't want to waste none of that, then you got to do the editing, and that in itself is just a lot of work, and I feel like I already was
doing the most.
Full time.
Jazz was going to school full time,
Working full time, like
she was doing a lot.
So this was just kind of like enough.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Respectfully. And I felt like I was taking a lot of time out of P's time and out of, Morgan's time behind the scenes. So I just was like, yo, I can't do this.
Yeah. And I appreciate Jazz for even being able to come, because when you're close with someone or you fuck with someone so much and you believe in the vision and you feel like there's something within that vision, and for you to turn around and say, yo, I can't do this, that takes a lot out of somebody.
That was the hardest part.
I know.
Because I was like, damn, I know P really wants to do this. And like, I know Morgan's, like sacrificing a lot for this too, but I can't keep up and I need to stay in my lane. Like I need to focus on what's in front of me rather than, spreading myself thin.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself and you have to pay your rent. You have to buy your own groceries. So at the end of the day, you have to do ultimately what's best for yourself. You can't sacrifice all that shit for somebody else. You have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that and respect that. Hindsight looking in, you know what I mean? I love that you said what you said at the time that you said it, and it was what it was,
Yeah.
I will always appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
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 But it was healthy. It was really healthy.
Yeah.
And it's a healthy breakup. Yeah.
And the
We're still friends.
you know what I'm saying? We be kicking it. But the fact that people were like, oh, so y'all fell out.
Like, are y'all good?
Yeah.
Are you and P good?
Right.
What you
like,
mean?
what y'all fight over?
You're like, yeah, I just talked to her yesterday.
Like,
What are you talking
have
about?
to like go through something
why does
that
that have to be a
like
thing?
Yeah.
why can't it just be like a healthy like
Yeah.
This wasn't working
Like
out.
right now, this is not working out. And who knows in the future, like you guys will probably do something else that's like different together,
why
But
does it have to be a fallout?
yeah.
Why?
Because it normally is, I feel like, and people aren't used to seeing people. Yeah,
breakups?
people go their separate ways, and it be, you know what I mean?
I feel like I've never known that either. Like I feel like when it comes to breakups or like breaking things off or kind of telling somebody close to you that like, hey, this isn't working, like whatever it may be, like it's just kind of like I find it as like confrontational. So it's like I don't want this person to feel this way.
Why
Like,
can't we have healthy confrontation though? And now
Fact.
we're gonna go back to what you said about you've never
got
known that.
tea.
So I was about to say, so
What?
you've never known that, right? So you have a long term, and not to put anybody out there, but people go through this shit. You have a really long term best friend who you considered as family. You know what I'm saying? And you had to have that really tough and I don't know, awkward conversation, but how did you feel like you navigated through a friendship breakup? And
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's like there's
Wait, not
that's the tea.
no,
Y'all ain't seen me in a minute. And we got tea.
no.
But tell us how you had to navigate through that, because I know you talked to me a little bit about it and like your
like, what
stresses and what you were
happened?
going through. It was just
It was a lot of different like how would you even like describe it? It's just kind of like not really seeing eye to eye, but it's not like any fallout drama like that. It was just kind of like, okay, you doing some dumb shit and I've been told you that you was doing dumb shit, but like, do you have to listen to me? No, I'm not your mom. But like at the same time, it's just like
you're not
our
growing.
like
You're
moral,
not growing.
like our like the way that we move and our like moral like compass is different.
Yeah,
It's not
Like it's
aligning.
it's not aligning. And I've explained myself to you before, like from the start of it, and I feel like I'm very like communicative.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like people I'm close with, I'm gonna tell you what's up. Like I'm not a yes man type of friend. Like I'm always, if you want the truth, I'm gonna tell you. Because like that's not a friend.
yeah,
So like I feel like that was very hard because it was like even before me telling her initially like, hey, I don't think this is really working. This is really like this friendship. I don't know if this is, and this is somebody I consider family. Like she's met my family loves her, whatever. But it was just like two people growing up in two different situations, which is absolutely fine. But like, I feel like there was kind of like this, like,
just not seeing eye to
It's gonna go back
eye.
to the moral compass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like stuff that she would do in a situation, I feel like Jazz would move differently, and that's where they didn't see eye to eye.
So is it fair to say that character and moral compass kind of like go hand in hand? Like, do you feel like this, like these things that you've seen of this person, do you feel like it's more so like, this is a character thing?
Yeah.
And I can't really fuck with your character.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, okay, I've been told you, like, how I feel about it. You don't have to do what I'm saying to do, you know what I'm saying? But at least take my advice in some sort of, like,
consideration.
Yeah, and some sort of consideration how I feel, whatever. But like, if you keep moving the way that you're moving, it's just kind of like, I didn't feel no type of like.
Yeah.
I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I love you. I just can't
I
have
love
you right
but
here.
I can't support what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't support what you're doing, and you keep doing this to yourself, and you keep asking me for advice. But it's like it's gone. Like, why ask me for advice when you're gonna do what you want to do without taking any of that into consideration, and then go back and be like, what do I do now? And I'm like, I just told you what I would like. You know what?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like.
And that's almost like a second
Growing
job
apart.
and exhausting
Yeah,
too.
like,
It's like,
at
I don't
that
have
point,
time
it's
for
like,
that.
I'm not gonna parent you.
Yeah.
Like, it was no falling out. I think it was such a healthy best friend breakup. Like, I don't know. Like, I just never thought like a breakup could be
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
heartbreaking. Like, I was crying, like on the phone, like just crying with her for like over like 2 hours. We were just talking, and I would just like let out how I feel, because I feel like I held in a lot of what I want to say. Because like, I'm not gonna judge you for anything. I've never judged you for anything. But like, if you want to know what I'm
Really
thinking,
thinking.
what I'm
Yeah.
feeling, like, this is what it is. Like, and it was just hard to say. It's different when you think one thing and you feel one thing, but when you say it to that person, it's like it hits differently.
Yeah.
And it's like it needs to come out. But it was just very, very emotional, and I never thought it would be like that. But I was like, I don't want you to think I hate you. I don't want you to like feel like I'm
Abandoning you.
Yeah,
Or like
but,
what?
like,
Yeah.
if it takes you losing me to figure out
realize.
what you need to do and to get right, like, then so be it. But like,
Damn.
just
That's
feel
love.
Oh,
yeah, like, I
That's
feel like,
love. Yeah.
and it was
My
nothing
heart.
like crazy. It was just kind of like
My left eye is watering.
My heart, bro. Cause like
it was really emotional,
it takes-
and I never expected it to be like that.
take a drink.
Thank you, thank you. I needed
It just takes like a grown person to be able to say, listen, I need to do this for you, not for me.
Because really,
you know what I
like,
mean? Not for us, but for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
you need to grow. And I don't think you're gonna do that with me right here.
And I feel like it's all love, like, at the end of the day, because, like, bro, you're like my sister. Like, I used to say you were my soul sister. Like, and that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
but I love you enough to let you go because it's just not working. And I feel like that was, like, growth in itself, because, like, speaking it to her was different. Like,
Than just saying it
asking somebody
to
for advice,
yeah.
like, damn, what do I tell her? Like, asking my boyfriend, like, what do I say? Like, this, I don't know what to do. I know, but I know that I don't think this is working between us. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like having that, like, openness.
Why
to,
do
like,
friendship heartbreaks?
that
why
shit
are they worse
hurt.
than-
Why do we keep talking about that on this channel?
Cheers to not actually breaking up, but communicating.
Tori leaving the set. Tori.
Listen, cheers to growing and glowing.
Anyways, this.
Anyway, so she said, "What's my line?"
What's my line? Oh, thank you.
She said, "Line."
And here's to growing apart.
Thank you so.
Just kidding.
She said, "Here's to growing
growing apart.
in different directions."
Respectfully.
Respectfully. Yeah. So
No, I feel that though.
say your line.
What is my line?
Yeah. Sometimes you do
I'd
just
be
grow
like
in
that.
different directions.
It'd
Yeah.
be like that.
Yeah, no. Here's to being grown and growing apart for real.
Well,
That's a
sometimes
life
you
bar.
have, but sometimes you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That almost spilled on me.
Yeah, and that's okay.
I forgot
And
I told you
and
about
who's
that.
to say that you guys won't grow back in the same direction?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's kind of where we left off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
love
like
that.
wherever life takes you, I support it. Like, whatever endeavor you choose to take on.
And I love you
support
from over
I
here.
love you, like, from over here, but respectfully, I can't
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
in your space
Yeah.
anymore.
I feel that.
At least right now.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Going on to a
Dang.
lighter note, let's talk about Fitum.
Oh, is that a lighter note?
Jazz. Damn.
We just want to talk about lighter note and go to trauma.
Well, damn.
Tell us how you really feel about
Tell
this.
us how you really feel. I'm like, for everybody that wants to go to FITM.
Save your money. Save your money.
You could do it on Google.
You can YouTube this, a lot of it.
That's great. So if people don't know what Fitum is, go ahead, tell them.
It's the Fashion Institute here in downtown LA.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
She said, and that's what it is.
But if you need graphics, let me know. I can do that.
Here, first of all, shout out to Jazz.
Oh.
She did the Honey I'm Home graphic.
The logo.
that You guys, the Honey I'm Home logo that you guys see. at the beginning of the pod, at the end of every reel. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Jazz. Shout out to Jazz.
So shout out to her. If you guys need a logo,
I mean, I got shout out to Fit On for teaching me a thing or two.
wait, tell Talon how you did on that specific logo in front of your professors. What they say?
Wait, what? Yeah, that was actually for like a portfolio presentation. That was like a project. And I told P, I was like, I'll do it because I needed some sort of like branding experience outside of myself too, because it was important. It's very important, especially if you're trying to get into graphic design, to like do somebody else's graphic, especially like another brand, because it's different when you're doing something personal, like a personal project. But I was like, it's different like working with somebody else. And it's like, okay, I need you guys' ideas. I need to make a mood board for this. Like, what you guys are going for is different when somebody else has a vision for it. And
Can you produce their vision?
You're catering to it.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I need the experience. And I also got this presentation at the end of this quarter that I need to put this like little project into. So that's why I made like several different logos for y'all to like choose from, because those several different options were like presented in front of a board to kind of like, hey, like I kind of understand branding and like this is kind of like
What the client asked for versus
exactly. And kind of like gave them that, and they really liked it.
Oh my god! Cheers to that. Good job.
Yeah,
I
they
love
love the
that.
colors and everything.
Yeah, the color.
But-
That was a vibe. It was a vibe.
I love it.
Immediately when we saw it, and don't get me wrong, I feel like the other logos were fire, just not for us at this time.
At this exact
You
time.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we will end up using later
Or like
on.
expanding on like a concept
Y'all
that
gave
she
me
sent
free
through.
reign, though. Like, y'all
Yeah.
gave me, like,
yeah.
like,
We're like, do what you want.
Yeah.
This. Yeah.
And I kind of was like, okay, bet. So, like, thinking of, like, logos, not just for the podcast itself, like, the visual of, like, this setup, but, like, also, like, I know P had mentioned, like, y'all want to do merch. So I was like, okay, what if y'all had a logo for merch and stuff like that y'all could use these different ones? So just kind of going in different variations of, like, okay, they can use this for this for this, and, like, there's so many different things that, like,
So did you always go, did you know, like, when you applied to FITM, were you like, I want to do graphic design?
no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
So what did you start out wanting to do?
Last semester was something different, and the one before that was something different too.
You know what? I
And
understand.
I'm okay, like, we're gonna be doing one thing. So when I first started the Fashion Institute, I was dead set, like, I'm gonna be a stylist. I'm gonna do this and that. Hell no. Okay, let me tell you.
Hell no, I don't want to do that no more.
I interned for how many different stylists? Big names too. Danny Michelle.
Name
Is that her name? Danny.
Yeah,
something,
the one that,
Kardashian.
yeah. Mhm.
Yep, her. Who does Sydney Sweeney? What's her name? See, I done worked for them for 2 days, and I realized that this is not for me. First of all, one thing that they don't tell you for interns, stylist interns specifically, do not be taken advantage of. Do not be taken advantage of, because they will make you do the runaround.
How does one not be taken advantage of though?
If you're a stylist, you will be taken advantage of.
But how do
Yes.
you not?
There's no way around it.
Exactly. It's just like
There's
okay.
just no way around it. Because what are you going to do? You're going to tell them, no, I'm not going to do your returns. What are you going to tell them? No, I'm not going to go pick up these items. What are you going to tell them? No, I'm not going to. You know what I mean?
And they don't even pay you. They don't pay you reimbursement. They don't do none of that, because you're not dealing with the actual key stylist. You're dealing with the key stylist, like, assistants. You're working for them and you're working on their time. So it's like, you're not actually
As
talking
an
to
intern,
them.
you're saying.
Yeah. And these people have, like, promised, like, what? Like, oh, you'll get reimbursed gas. We'll reimburse your parking. Ain't seen a dime. And I know a lot of students who have been wanting to be, like, celebrity stylists who are interning for a lot of these big names. And it's like, they're complaining in class, like, so-and-so didn't pay me, like, reimbursement for gas. They haven't even paid. Like, it's been 3 months and I haven't gone, like, and I'm like, yeah, because they'll do that. Like, one thing they don't tell you about is, like, you got to kind of take a lot of shit as an intern to get to that position, and they don't tell you that really. So my thing is like,
You kind of went in blind.
Realizing, like, as an intern and kind of like being like, what, 2 days deep in with these, like, celebrity interns, it was really just connection. And that's what they do, is like, they have people working their connection. So it's like, if you make connections with the people that you're picking up these, like, garment bags from, whether it's Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, whatever, where, like, Dior, like, I was picking up things from, like, those big names. And it's like, as long as you make connections with those people, because at the end of the day, I learned that you're borrowing clothes. These celebrities aren't actually buying it. They're just wearing it on the red carpet.
And then you return it. Yeah.
Taking pictures, taking content in it, and then they return it. Like,
if you want to be that celebrity stylist or whatever, what do you feel like you need to do? And do you feel like you need to go to FITM or a college to do that? No. Like, okay, so
it's about who you know.
It is absolutely. Since I've been here in Los Angeles, the one thing that I can say wholeheartedly, it is about who you know, not what you know. Yeah. And the thing about being a stylist, I pick up on it quick.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to put things together, a fit, that's all you need to know. What you really need to hone in as a stylist is having those connections. If you can make connections with the person from Saks Fifth Avenue and borrowing those things, if you can make, like, have that sort of trust with the people that you're borrowing with, like, because it is money. It's transferring money. And if you can make those connections and they remember your name, yes, like, you can work your way into being a stylist and be like, hey, can I borrow, like, eventually work up and be like, hey, can I borrow this outfit for so-and-so?
Which I will say,
it is all
if you do start out as being an intern, because that's the thing. It's like everybody has their lanes, right? And their things and the way that they go about it. Me and you ended up in the same vicinity of a career for a short amount of time until you were like, fuck this shit, which rightfully so. I understand. But, you know, and we got about it different ways. Like, I didn't go to college for it. You did go to college for it, and you kind of like got into it, like you were saying. But it's like, if you go in and you do go that route of being an intern, and you go in and you're like, okay, you know what? I am going to make as many connections as I can in this position, in this time that I'm in. And like she was saying, yeah, you go in, you do your pulls, and you make that person, obviously don't be fake about it, but like, you make that person your fucking best friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and you get cool with them and don't like just be on some like, oh, hey, I'm here for this, to pick up this. And then you walk the fuck out. You, as they're boxing the shit up, as they're packaging up your shit, oh hey, da 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 da, like making conversation, being cool with them, because those are the people that, if you have somebody, when you know you meet somebody on the street and they're an artist and you really believe in them and you believe in their art, but they might not be signed yet, or they might not have a big budget behind them yet, but you fuck with them and you're like, dang, I really want to dress you, I really want to style you, but I don't have X, Y, and Z yet. I don't have the, you know, we can't just go to Saks and Gucci and pull. Oh wait, but I can, because I've made this connection with the guy at Gucci. Me and him are friends. So he's like, I trust you. I know you're going to get the shit back to me. So yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Like, I know your person doesn't really have like that much of a following,
that's
but
the connection that matters.
That's the connection that matters.
That's the connection that matters. Because low key, it's not as hard as you think it is to reach out to the celebrities themselves, because they need, like, they're looking for stylists. They're looking for somebody who can, like, okay, put together.
Or you can know somebody that knows somebody that, like,
exactly. So like, but no, making those sort of connections, that's really what it's about as a stylist. And one thing I can also say, if you're trying to be a stylist, if you think that it's glamorous in any sort of way,
it is not.
It is the most, like, it's gritty. Because, like, people, I mean, like, you're fighting for connections. You're also, like, fighting to be seen as a stylist, and to, like, you know, you're putting your name out there. And it's like, if you're passionate about that, if you're passionate about, like, doing that, then absolutely go for it. But stay focused on the matter of, like, I feel like interning at that point, if you're interning to be a stylist, focus on the fact that, like, you're there to make connections, not get a reimbursement. Because that's, like, you got to be passionate about it.
At the end of the day, I feel like it comes down to human connection. And if we go back to our LA foodie, Latina foodie interview, she was literally talking about, when I go into a restaurant, right, I connect with these people and I build these connections, and I have, you know, a resource to reach out to. So at the end of the day, whatever lane you go into, you're building connections. It's a networking opportunity.
But also be intentional about building those connections.
Of course. Be genuine about it. Don't just like fake the funk and be like,
isn't that what life is about? To just like meet people and like build connections. You know what I mean? 100%. Like,
I feel like that's where I'm at. Like, I'm in a slump of that.
I'm
in a slump.
So speaking of that, right? So you went into FITM thinking, I want to be a stylist, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I had
where you at now?
Girl, I'm into doing my own thing. That's what I'm into. And
You're about to graduate, right?
Yeah, I'm about to graduate this spring. This is my. I'm only taking.
Can we
4
throw you a big party?
Y'all can throw me a party. You can throw me a party free. You ain't got friends. And I don't mind it that way.
Hey, we got a whole barbecue for you on
Yes, we will. We will. No, see, because that's amazing.
You do it.
I
You
didn't
about to
graduate, so.
So what's the vibe after?
Shit. Living. Stress free. You know what I'm saying? Stress free.
Are you planning on staying in
I
LA?
might be in debt, but I'm stress free.
Period. Yeah, you still gonna be stressed. But you had said, and we've had multiple conversations about this, you not wanting to live in LA. What's the vibe?
Uh-oh.
I don't want to live in LA.
Okay, why?
You know what? I always thought I was gonna be a city girl. I always thought like, oh my god,
Period.
like you know,
Big dreams. Big dreams. No.
Big dream.
no, like. I've come to really find out that I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert.
Oh my God, same.
And like
Nobody
he
believes
knows
me.
it. Like y'all don't ever see me. Y'all don't ever see me. Y'all, it is rare to see me out.
Yeah.
I don't even drink. But bitches got me drinking. Cause like I'm with the homegirl, so I'm gonna drink. But like, yeah, like Emily talking about, oh, what you be drinking? Like you got a preference, girl? No, I don't know. I don't know what a drink. Like I don't know. Name one drink. She's talking about Moscow meal. I'm like, what's a Moscow meal?
Moscow meal. Moscow meal.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't that what I said? Ain't that what I said?
Right. You
Okay, introvert.
Like respectfully, like I'm just that one friend who be like, you could count on me for things, and in a room full of opportunities, I'll say your name, but like, girl, I'm in my hole. I be in my apartment reading my books.
So what? Goes back to the question that I asked. What are you doing after college, bitch?
Reading. Enjoying my life, escaping reality, just being a girl
So
in a.
I'm
love
just
that
a
for you.
girl.
I'm really just a girl, but
So where if you leave LA, where are you going?
anywhere but LA.
LA.
But after, I want to get into graphics, but it's so funny because a lot
You can
of
do that
people.
from anywhere, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny because at the Fashion Institute, everybody's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do afterwards? Like, what are you gonna do?"
Okay,
I'm like, "Girl, I work for myself. How are you gonna do that? I don't know. I don't fucking know. How to figure it out." And like one thing, it's hard because it's like I hate the word influencer. I hate that shit. But like, I want to be an influencer. I want to be an influencer. You know what? I hate that. I fucking hate that word. Can we go with something else? I'm a content creator, but like I want to make my own content and I want to like do my own projects at my own leisure. Does that make sense? Because I feel like the Fashion Institute has really made me realize like art is truly subjective. But at the Fashion Institute, when there's an objective and you need to turn in work, it kind of drains you because it's like I feel like they're like milking your creative juices in a way, and it's like I'm drained. Like since I've been here in LA, before I came to LA, I started a YouTube channel and I loved it, and I maybe posted 5 videos and gained like what, almost 800 like subscribers, and I wasn't even really like, I didn't start the YouTube channel to
You didn't go full force.
I didn't even know you can make money off of YouTube. I just kind of was like, I just loved recording my everyday life, and that was just that. And then when it became something like, oh, you can make money out of it, that's when I feel like I started putting pressure on myself, and then I started looking at other creators in a way of like comparing myself. And you know, like comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
And so like when you come to a Fashion Institute, everything is
Subjective.
is objective.
Yeah.
Like there's a goal to meet, and it's kind of like, okay, well, I just gave you something creative and something very unique, but like
Now
you're
you.
grading it as a D. Like you're giving me a D or like a C because this didn't meet your like objective. Is that like your criteria? And it's kind of like that's where I feel like I get discouraged because it's like,
Yeah.
well, you wanted, this from me.
Yeah.
I gave you something in that sense. Obviously, this is my form of art. This is what I like deem as like acceptable. But you don't think it's acceptable. So now it's like a matter of.
And you don't think it's what?
Acceptable.
You don't. Oh my God. You don't think it's acceptable because of subjections. You know
Because
what I mean?
your own personal opinion.
Opinion, because of your opinion.
And that's what I faced during that portfolio presentation.
Yeah.
Because they did have things to say after my presentation and all the work that I like accumulated over my time at FITM. They're like, oh, this and this, and like you need to say this during the speech. And I'm like, okay, you're talking about my presentation, but you're not really talking about my work. And my work isn't really in your taste. As far as like,
But
you know what I do.
If it was somebody else, it might have been
Somebody else might have thought my shit was dope.
Yeah,
You don't really care for it because it's not within your sort of like,
your box.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just
So playing off of that, right? You got a TikTok, right?
What? How is that playing off of that?
Because
She wanna get
subjective
it deep.
and I do. Because subjective and like what people think about you and yours.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Jazz does have a very controversial TikTok.
Let me take. Hold on.
Take a long sip. Go ahead, sip, 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 sip.
Let me put that down.
All right, so going off of that, you got a TikTok that went viral, right? Over what, 1 million views?
No, I think it was like
2 million. 2 million
excuse
views.
us.
2 million. Right.
She said 2.
First of all, did you get a paycheck off of that?
Hell no.
Bitch.
And y'all ain't never see TikTok ain't never seen me after that.
No, for you. She went viral for this fucking TikTok that she made. She went to a hairdresser, right? Your lady, right? Mm-hmm. And then I feel like the video went viral all on its own because it was just a fire ass video.
It was so
And then
funny, bro. Like,
the
first
video-
of all, you guys have seen Jazz talking this whole time.
right.
She's a hoot and a holler.
But it became a little controversial because people who didn't know her came into the mix and they were like, "Oh, she's talking black. She's talking X, Y, and Z. She's not who she says she is. She's faking her personality or persona or whatever."
They're like, why is she putting on this voice? X, Y, and Z.
Everybody has so much.
Because she did a voiceover to.
Yeah,
she did a
because it was
voiceover
just
to
like
the
a
video.
vlog of like me getting my hair done. Now, mind you, my hairdresser, she's Korean. I got my hair done in K-Town. I have like Asian textured hair, but it's thick because I'm mixed Polynesian. So it's like a lot of people took the video because the voiceover itself was just kind of like, oh, she got a black accent, or like it was hard to speak on because it's like I'm not black, but like I grew up in the South. So it's just like it was hard to explain myself because it was like you kind of realize that all of these people in the comments from all over the world were just kind of like in their own like little box. Like they ain't never left their own like city, their own town.
Well,
So
they're
it's, like,
speaking on their experience.
I remember hearing the comments and then I remember asking Babe.
Babe. I remember asking Babe.
Asking Talon, how do you feel
What?
about Jazz's accent? Quote unquote.
And didn't I say like, oh, that's just how she talks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like that's just how Jazz talks. Now, had I known you from, you know, like a different standpoint, and I heard, you know, and every time you came around me, you were like, hey girl, like, what's up? Or like,
yeah, to my white friends, I be talking like that. I'd be like, hey girl, like,
no,
what's
but I'm
up?
just saying, like, had I like, like, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like every single situation I've seen you in, whether you've been at work, I've seen you at work before when you were working at Jumpman, when I would come, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I've seen you at work. I feel like I've seen you in so many different areas, and it's like, I don't know, you just talk how you talk. I like when she asked me, she's like, how do you feel about that? I was like, well, I don't really feel anything because that's just how Jazz talks. Like, that's how I've always known her to talk.
But you know me, and that's another thing.
Right. So that's what's, yeah, well, that's what's different. It's like, you know, you can, you know, anybody can go to somebody and be like, oh, like you're talking like this, and they don't know them, you know, and it's like, oh, that's weird, and X, Y, and Z. To me, I was like, I don't take offense to it. You know, yeah, I know that you did like grow up in Texas at one point and X, Y, and Z. Like, you know, and I have white friends that have that little black scent. And am I going to say at first, when I first meet them, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you know, like, all right, like you fuck with niggas. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, am I naturally kind of like that? Sure. But then it's just like, you know, once the bit continues to be the bit, it's just like, oh, like, that's just how you talk. I'm sure that there's probably people that look at me and be like, why are you saying like so many times? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. That's just how I talk. You know, we've already had that fucking conversation on here too. I didn't think anything of it because I don't feel like you turn it on or off. Like, I don't feel like when you go around a certain race of people, you talk a certain way. And you know what I mean? Like, that was just genuine. And then hearing the video, like her being like, girl, and then this girl just blow dry my hair. Like, You've heard her drag out her words in this episode. Like, you know what that's just how you talk.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I don't think of it as that, but you know, also too that, you know, you putting yourself out there on a platform for the world to see.
And not have any intention of like, oh my God, I want to go viral.
Absolutely not.
This shit took me 5 minutes to make. Like, I did the voiceover and I was like, I can't do this no more. I'm just going to fucking post it. I'm going to go to bed. Like, go to bed. The next morning, blowing up. And I'm looking at my notifications and I'm going through the comments. I'm like, damn, my shit's blowing up. And I'm looking through the comments and I'm like, wait, hold on. Because it was just like, but it was a realization because I feel like I started having an identity crisis when those people started chiming in because it's like, I'm not black, but I'm not white. I'm also not Korean, you know? So it's like, like, it's just kind of like, it made me realize, damn, like, do I switch up how I talk to different people? Which is, I do. Like, if I'm talking to my white girlfriends and my you know, like at FITM and stuff, I'm talking to them how I'm talking. If I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking how I'm talking. But like, people went as far as to like stitch my old YouTube videos and take segments of me talking like that, like a little valley girl. They were stitching that and then being like, oh, so you want to talk like this and that, like, but you wasn't talking like this in your YouTube video. And I was like, damn. And so it made me think like, they're kind of right, you know, like they have a point, like they are right. So then it makes me think,
is that bad for me to do that?
Yeah, is it bad for me to do that? But then, like, it took my parents, like, talking to my parents about it because my parents don't know a damn thing about social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad be sending me some funny, like, TikTok and shit. I'll be like, Dad, what kind of, you know, like, what TikTok started you on?
What side of TikTok you on?
I was crying to my parents at one point because because it was like so hurtful. It was so a lot.
I mean, I guess 2 million people, like.
Navy baby, right?
Yeah, my dad was Air Force, so we moved around a lot.
What that's like. You've been
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't understand how it is to try to blend in and be a chameleon.
Exactly, and that's what it was. A unique perspective.
Yeah.
It was a very unique perspective because I'm neither white or black. That's
the part.
Yeah.
That part.
Like, what? So if I don't talk the same way I talk,
exactly.
I'm switching up.
Yeah.
So
right.
And then
with the different
things.
So a lot of people were saying like, oh, like I see my people, or like I hear my people, but I don't see my people. But I'm kind of. I
did see that comment.
It's kind of racist to me too because it's like, okay, so you think I'm Korean, so you just think I'm Asian when really, like, if you saw my mom is full Samoan. Like, my mom is Samoan and my dad is half Samoan, like a quarter Hawaiian and a quarter Filipino. So y'all would have looked like a fool because I'm looking at TikTok too, and it's like the black community really accepts Samoans as like they black people. They respect them too.
Really?
Because it's like,
I'll beat their ass. That's why.
oh yeah, they know that for sure. But it's kind of like for me, it was a different it was very unique perspective, and it was hard because you can't really like anything that I would say to coming back to people, it was just like twisted, completely twisted. And then people were commenting after like a week or two had went by, they were like, she's not saying anything, silence means everything. And that is something I considered because I wanted to speak out about it, but at the same time I was like, I'm giving my power to those people
they wanted you to stitch their comment
who have never
known
like
for
come
one.
out of that like little city that they're raised in when really I'm neither black nor white or Hispanic. My last name might be Sanchez, but a lot of people don't even know the Spaniard War happened in the Philippines, so they don't really understand that correlation. But at the end of the day, I'm not Hispanic.
We might be cousins because my mom's last name is Sanchez.
That's what I'm saying. You said that too, and I was just like, but I'm not Hispanic.
I was on Jasmine's comments like, bitch, you don't know her, dude.
Yeah. Bro, and you know what's crazy is like I got family in Georgia too. Like I got a lot of like my uncles love black women. Okay, so I got black cousins too who are like Polynesian and black. I grew up around a lot of black people too. So it was just like, how do you explain to people when I'm looking physically this way, but like I feel like I'm
culturally
a lot more cultured than like a lot of people would think. But like it's not really for me to say. It's for a lot of people to know
or to
like
experience.
It takes one to know
experience.
To
experience.
Like, I kind of kept silent on it, and I was a little mad, so I did come out with another TikTok that was just kind of like the hoes are really mad because it was just like You talking on somebody that you have no idea about. You've seen a 3-minute video of me talking and you assume one thing, and I'm like, if you had met me, I bet you we would have been friends, because I'd be friends with anybody. Okay, even the white people were mad at it. The white people were mad about it. This one, I'll never forget. This one stylist has stitched my videos. He was white. He was gay. So he was like, this girl talking about her, she got Asian hair. Asian hair is just like white hair. I said, okay, and that's where I'm gonna stop you right there, because no, it's not. And I mixed.
He did go. You know what's so crazy?
And I just let him go, because at that point,
the audacity to talk about people's hair, right? When he's white,
the texture of somebody's hair. But I was like,
how do you know the texture?
Right.
Is he a hairstylist? Is he a hairstylist?
Mixed.
Is he a hairstylist, or he was a wardrobe?
He was like, she's racist and all this kind of stuff, and saying like so many hateful things, and that's just what I was seeing. Like half of it was like black people like defending me, and then half of it was like the black community like really coming for me. And I was like, I was just in a position where it's just like, I feel like my perspective is really small, and it's not a lot of people really know my perspective, so I'm gonna just keep quiet. But I did consider the fact that like silence is saying something. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just like, I'm not black, so I can't really speak on this. This isn't my, like, you know, like, sort of, so I'm not gonna say anything.
I will say, and I don't know if I'm a good spokesperson for this or not, but I will say on the behalf of the black community.
No. Why my cousins come on my TikTok, start commenting like after all the trolls, and the trolls were stitching their comments and being like, oh, her family's culture, they're full of culture vultures. And I was like, damn. Like, so y'all don't even care that my black family members are really like people from high school, like the black girls from high school in Texas were defending me. I ain't talked to these bitches in a minute. And pull up. They was like, I know her since high school. Girl, it's been 8 years since I've been in high school. They was talking about, I know her since high school, and she been talking like this. I said, oh, period. Because the girls pulling up. And honestly, that's what I felt like made me, like, because it was really like it was an identity crisis. A lot of people are like, okay, you did have an identity crisis because you look this way, but you talking this way. And I'm like, so you want to put me in a box for what? But you don't even know me to put me, like, to even do something like that. So it's just kind of like, it was an identity crisis. Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
I'm guessing, like, who am I? Like, who am I? Like, really, like, am I doing
should
this?
I
are they
not
right?
be talking? Like, should I change the way that I've talked my whole entire life to fit a certain
to make
criteria or about to make other people feel comfortable? Yeah.
This is America.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. I think that, and like, you know, like I was saying, like, I'm not the black spokesperson. I'm just saying I feel like the black community, there's so much just like hurt and trauma and just fucking like taking from.
That's another reason why I couldn't speak about it, because I don't know your trauma. I don't know your pain.
And I respect,
I can't speak on it.
And everybody should, and I respect that you even feel that way, because a lot of people don't really think about it or don't allow themselves to go there. But I think that also, too, all of that trauma and resentment and X, Y, and Z can make us very, and I'll include myself, because in certain instances, can make us very closed-minded in a lot of different situations and make us very like, like, you know what I mean? Like easy to react or easy to respond. You know what I mean?
Like,
about a situation.
But at the same time, y'all had it worse than a lot of us.
And it's just been so ongoing, and it still continues to be ongoing. It's tiring, it's exhausting, it's all of these things, right? But it's like, in that sense, I do feel like it's like very closed-minded in the sense of allowing, even like for me in my situation, like you're not allowing me to be the black person that I am because you feel like I talk white. You're not allowing you to be the fact that you are multicultural, that you've grown up in this area, that you whatever, and you just talk the way that you do, and you might resemble us. If anything, that should bring camaraderie. That should bring like, oh, you look different than me, but I hear my cousin, I hear my whatever, like I fuck with you. Like, who is this girl? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, let's stop trying to alienate people and shame people for just being who they are. Let's fucking just like, oh my gosh, I see a piece of me in you. Come on. Like, you know?
It was hard too, because it was like after that, because for so long I was just like, okay, I'm gonna push content out, this and that, but I feel like after that situation really gave me a taste of like, oh, you want to be an influencer? This is what it takes.
This is what it takes.
There's going to be a lot of people. I fucking hate that word. But there's going to be a lot of people
think of a new
going to
one.
say a lot of different things. And you know what? For a second, I was like, damn, this is what Kim K be feeling like? Because she be getting hate. Bitch, like, they hate the Kardashians. But, like, at the same time, you kind of have to admire that in a way because, like, we're human at the end of the day. And it's like, I never thought.
And look where she at.
Yeah, I was just like, I never thought I would like be in the position to have hateful things said and like even like people like finding my Instagram and then on my YouTube like commenting like respond like people stitching like literally going to my cousin's face because when my cousins commented they had started harassing my cousins and I was like, damn, this got a lot deeper than I had ever expected it to, but it was at the same time it kind of taught me like this kind of what like that life is really about. But like if you know like it kind of had like I kind of was like I do have a certain respect for it because you have to keep in mind of like it's hard that like people are commenting and yeah it's not about what they're commenting but at the same time like you're human, you're gonna want to know what people are gonna say and like you're gonna take that into some sort of consideration, but at the same time it's like there has to be a line of like who you are and what those people say about who you are. So it's like take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time like if this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do. Like, you got to make sure you got thick skin for this. And it's like, people, I feel like after that, I had a different respect for, like, a lot of influencers who be getting canceled or, like, a lot of hateful shit being said to them. And they ain't even really did nothing but, like, you know, it's just kind of like people have nothing better to do because that was a lot of the comments. More than half the comments were, like, somebody from their mom's basement talking about you ain't shit, you ain't this and that. I'm like, damn, I'm talking about my hair. You was talking about I ain't shit. What did I do to you? You know, like wrong. But at the same time, like the human part of you is really taking that in. Like, damn, am I not shit? Like now you thinking about like, am I putting on a show for somebody? But at the same time, it's like you really got to know who you are, and that's what I feel like. That sort of feel kind of like humbles people because it's like. You got to take that hate. You got to take that hate and, like, still at the end of the day know who you are and wear that skin.
Yeah.
Like,
where...
100%. Like, yeah.
100%. So, leading to my next question, right?
Oh, ask me all the questions.
You are R&B head. You a hip-hop head.
Oh,
we in the music, right?
Where are we going with this?
K-Dot or Drake?
Uh-oh.
Because at the end of the day, you have to go into what everybody says, right? Yeah. And what they say about you and what they don't say about you.
Oh.
K-Dot or Drake?
I don't give a fuck about none of them. Respectfully, like, I feel like it's PR because I feel like when you live here in LA, you really start to realize, like, a lot of shit is really PR. And it's like, don't let that shit get to your head.
If we're talking raps and lyrics...
But like,
so you don't think it's a real beef? However, based on the raps and based on the content that's coming out,
let's just talk about that.
Who?
K-Dot.
Okay.
K-Dot.
That's
but
all
at the
we
same
need.
time, like, let's talk about Macklemore's. Let's talk about his drop because he's talking about real shit. And that's like, and you know what? I had that on repeat at work in my head, in my
Let's talk about that one then.
Because I was like, okay, but he had a lot of solid points. Like, fuck Drake's comeback. Like, let's talk about what none of y'all celebrities, what none of y'all musicians, what none of y'all actors
talking
about. Talk about what's really going on in the real world because, like, yeah, like it's hard because it's like you got ghostwriters nowadays, you got publicists, you got all of this, and they're working overtime, which is cool, but at the same time be aware of the distractions too because like Macklemore was really the entire time, it's not like it's a solid beat going on, he's really talking, like, and that's what talent is like you're not just talking, you're talking about something worth listening to, and it's like K-Dot's talking. But at the same time, it's like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, are you talking about something that's real? Are you talking about something that was staged? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like...
So what's Macklemore talking about? Tell us right now.
He's talking about Gaza, free Palestine, period. And honestly, it's crazy because even Kim Kardashian is starting to get questioned. The whole, like, celebrities getting blocked now. And I'm here for it because it's kind of like... We've been distracted for so long, but let's really talk about like the fact that we having a Met Gala, which is like $75K for a ticket just to attend. But like in another part of the world, we got people really dying, people really like starving, and it's hard to scroll past because in the country that we live in, it's kind of like we're stuck with this question as everyday citizens, like, what do we do? other than scroll past it, and I ain't even got really money to fund it for real. Like, but they taking my taxes. You know what I'm saying? And this year I owe taxes for what? Why I owe taxes? You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I owe taxes. My daddy told me, and I said, Dad, tell Paul text me. I ain't touched my W-2, Dad. And I told him, I was like, Dad, what happened? Cause Look, he had the same text man since we was in Texas 8 years ago. 8 years strong, baby, almost 10 years strong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and my dad talking about, he talking about insurance. I said, what about my insurance?
Oh, you didn't have the health insurance, did you?
I do have health insurance.
With the LA?
Insurance.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm like, but they've been taking tax out, and I have not. So my dad was like, okay, let me talk to Paul, the tax guy. Paul talking about, apparently one of her jobs was taking out enough money. I said, and how? I said, I ain't touched that W-2 form.
Listen,
I have not touched that W-2
you
form.
about to get a...
But hear me out. But hear me out. How? The thing that makes me so mad is like, okay, you going to talk to the tax man, but I want to see the receipts because I have not touched the W-2 form. All jokes aside, I have not touched it. So I'm like, I've had these 2 jobs for 2 years. Nothing's changed. So all of a sudden,
how do I not?
I owe taxes, and it's crazy because
I gotta find some new shit.
So it's like, but they don't ever think that we gonna question it, and I want to see receipts. And I'm like, Dad, I need you to go into it. Like, I need you to really show me where I went wrong, because at this point now I'm curious, because I'm like, I've never owed taxes. If anything, y'all done took out too much of my taxes over a war I ain't even funded. Okay, and I ain't even supported.
I don't even agree. Like, I feel like they should, at this point where we are, ask me if I agree to fund this. And then you take my tax dollars, and then you go do what you got to do, because I said that I agree. But you don't give a fuck whether I agree or not to what the fuck is going on, and you still take my shit.
And that's
what I don't like.
That's
what I don't like.
Day, that is what my problem is that that's not what it's about. It's not the integrity. It's the like, oh, you owe this much amount of money. Okay, well, show me what I owe and how much I owe and why I owe it. So it's just kind of like, so we got protests going on, but please tell me that that's not a waste of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what can we do other than scroll, other than be like, oh, donate to so-and-so? What can we do?
But then also, too, even that, like, who is this person that I'm donating to? I don't know this, but like, you know,
like, I can stop funding Starbucks.
Like,
I can stop funding Starbucks, but like, as an American, like, what the fuck can we do? Like, I'm still trying to pay bills.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thrifting at this point. Bitches ain't even shopping online. I'm shopping on Amazon. But like,
I'm renting
to my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's another thing about music these days. It's like, it's not what it used to be. Like, you taking a lot of samples and you making like this and that, but it's like, you're not really speaking from the heart, because music is so, what do you call that?
It's an endorphin? What?
It's so like it's so like, people have capitalized on music so much to the point where music is no longer art. It's like
it's sample
publicity.
It's a business.
It's a business more than it is an art now, and that's what I feel like the problem is. So the fact that Macklemore not only just dropped some shit out of fucking nowhere. When the last time you heard about
I'm not gonna lie. Within the past month, I for sure was like, thought of Macklemore. And maybe
you manifested it.
Maybe I just need to realize that I'm psychic at this point, because I swear on it. Right. It's Pisces in me, because I swear on everything that I love. Like, I swear on you. I swear on my life. I swear on all y'all's life. When I swear on honey, that's how you know it's real.
She said that's real.
Okay, that's real. I swear on everything within the past month. I was like, Macklemore has never made, like, he hasn't, like, where the fuck did he go after? Because I heard one of his songs randomly, and I was like, where has this nigga been? Like, he hasn't done nothing. And then for like now this, not saying that I, did anything to make Macklemore. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, that's just, it's just crazy, like the timing of it all. But then also too, for him to like do. Like,
as a rap, like,
but also too, where have you been? You haven't been nowhere, exactly. And then so you just come out and you do this. Like, it's like, very,
it made it more like, I feel like it was more impactful too, because it's like no PR intended, and then on top of that, it was just like, I feel like a lot of rap / trap these days depends on a beat. Like, as long as it's got a catchy beat,
Mess around the beat.
it's kind of like, oh, it's a
not like
hit.
us.
But at the same time, I was like, ain't no beat. Like, bro was really talking. And so
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, if you listen to what they're talking about, that's what rap was before. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I fucking sound like an OG. I sound like, oh, you're old.
Yeah.
Okay, bitch. And that's what music was. Like, that's just what it was. Like, you was really talking about something, like, in a poetic manner. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just kind of like you talking about something important. And, like, he was. And, like, a lot of people have not talked about it. Yeah. Your favorite artist ain't talk about it. Drake ain't talked about it.
Oh, hell
No offense, but Kendrick ain't talk about
it.
it. But it's just kind of like everybody's so focused. It's like they draw your attention one way and like you look in another way. You know what lives rent free in my head? I'm sorry to get off topic, but Hawaii, Maui.
Yeah.
Okay. Maui.
Maui.
The situation, like, okay, Maui was blown up, and they didn't expect that shit to blow the way that it did, and then next a month later.
Hold on, time out. The way Jazz comes with receipts and with videos and with TikToks, and the way that she like really comes with like the shit that she believes in, honestly makes me a believer. So I really appreciate you coming with information.
But that's the real. I know you hate the word influencer, but that's the real influence. You know what I mean? Like, even if your community is however big it is, however small you feel like it is, like, you still. And I'm not gonna lie, even you posting about them damn books you be reading. Like, I was like, should I get this fucking book? Like, I'm like, should I get this fucking book? Because the way that this girl started on that, I'm like, the way this girl talks about this one book series. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way this girl talks. So that's the real influence. And I know you don't like the word, but it's like,
I hate
that and even too, for me, like, I feel like we've talked about this. Like, I like will put my friends on certain things, and I'm just like, and she'll be like, oh, like, babe, like, you are like an influencer, and I'm like, no, like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, yeah, like, I do want to influence my people though. Like, I want to put my people on to like, oh, I've just got this new skincare thing. I've just got this new restaurant, this new thing, this new that. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. All you fucking weirdos out there that like to gatekeep, that like to do all this like weird ass shit, but influence for like shit that doesn't fucking matter. Like, influence people to eat better, to be better, to fucking read things, to fucking dig deeper into political issues. Like, that's the real fucking influence. Sorry, I'm drunk, but whatever.
Listen, before we wrap up, because I know Jazz, we kept here for a while. Yeah. Before we wrap up, if anybody is gonna shadow ban us, it's gonna be Jasmine for all the real shit she be talking. Ooh. But I still appreciate you for coming on and talking
appreciate that.
You know, because you will shadow ban us. She said, shut up. I was like, no.
The thing about influencing, with me influencing, is bitches gonna get shadow banned because because a lot of shit be going through my head, and I'm like, why ain't nobody thinking about this?
Or why ain't nobody asking questions?
But also, people probably are, but they're probably getting exactly what you are.
How many influencers are there not out there that they're like, I can't post about Palestine or X, Y, and Z?
Because a lot of their brand deals stop them from doing that. And a lot of these brand deals pay them a lot of money, which you do have to keep in mind. And that money also pays for their bills, so you can't really be mad about it.
You can't be mad about it.
Like, be aware of the like contracts that you are signing and like, you know, the litigations and all of that stuff. But at the same time, I appreciate that because I feel like with that whole TikTok thing, that made me realize like, damn, is this really what I wanted to do? But at the same time, I've always been passionate about the things I've been passionate about. Like, things that go through my head, I just be saying it. Like, I just be talking about it. But like, it is hard because now I have this like, oh, what are people going to say about it? Rather than just saying what I need to say. Because what I'm saying is really just like, just conscious flowing. But at the same time, it's like, now you take into account, what are people going to think?
But I also think that's the important part about having like a good community around you and a good set of people, because it's like, we can come here and tell you like, no, keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, fuck the noise. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be, it might look like there's a whole bunch of people being on the opposing end, but like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're really doing shit from your soul, and like you said, like, I just like to talk about what I like to talk about.
It's hard to practice what you preach, too.
It is.
Because it's like...
But you need the reinforcement.
Yeah,
so here, we are here to give you the reinforcement to, like, keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You're fucking doing it.
Go, Jackie.
We love to hear what you gotta say.
Listen, we're gonna leave off on that note because I feel like
women. I love us women. y'all bitches. I love
Listen.
I love bitches.
Listen. Shout out to Jazz and Jay. All of her content. Follow her on social media. Jazz, what's your
Jazz Sanchez. It's as simple as that.
Simple as that.
Two Z's at the end of Sanchez. And no, I'm not Hispanic.
And listen. Shout out to being you. Continue to be you.
Oh yeah, wait, your drink. Yeah,
Continue to be you.
Continue.
Yourself.
Oh my God.
I'm like, can you come back?
Don't ever change.
Can you come back?
I'll come back. You want me to come back? We can talk.
bring Paul.
I'll bring Paul.
Oh my God, bring Paul.
I'll bring my man.
That was a whole other segment.
Yeah. I'm in a relationship. Y'all ain't heard me. Bitches in love. Bitches didn't think this existed. Actually, you know,
I wish we could have talked about that because I really thought Jazz was gonna be alone for the rest of her life.
and that was don't take that. Don't take that. But I was okay with that.
okay with
I
that.
was like, I could be a nun if I really studied the Bible. Because I was just so okay with it.
I believed it.
And I think that's what brought me Paul.
And Paul is the best. Paul's so sweet.
He's such a sweetheart.
Shout out to Paul.
Y'all
All
gonna
right,
see him
Paul.
one day.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right, love you,
Cheers,
Jazz.
y'all.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me. Honey, I am home.
Honey, I am home. Wow, that was cute.
That was Jazz. I really wanted to get into it. Fucking love life, bitch.
Well, next
Oh,
time.
that would have been interesting.